Hello, Saturnians! So today I want to talk about ceremonial clothing, whether it is a cloak, a robe, a cape, or any piece of clothing you choose, and why you should have one as somebody who practices witchcraft or any form of magic. I have this custom made purple cloak. There is a backstory to it. I basically ate 5 grams of magic mushroom and saw myself wearing a purple cloak during an out of body experience. But this video is not about that. I already explained it in my video about psychedelic mushrooms, so if you haven't watched that one video yet, go ahead and watch it. I'll leave the link down below in the description box, and then you'll understand the story behind the purple cloak. This video is about choosing your magical clothing, how to consecrate it, and how to get the most out of it. There is a little secret I want to share with you. First of all, we need to establish something. It doesn't matter what piece of clothing you choose to become your magical garment. It doesn't even have to be a full garment. It could be something as simple as a hat or even any accessory, as long as you are consistent with the process of turning it into your magical accessory or tool. Nearly all religions in the world have special clothes for ceremonies and rituals. Priests, Buddhist monks, imam, babalorisha, a rabbi, they all wear ceremonial robes or accessories, and the function of these items is not simply to identify the faith. It is much more than that. And this is the first thing I want to talk about. Please understand this. The function of ceremonial garments is to create an association between the item and a state of mind. If you do a good job consecrating your garments, and I'll tell you next how to do it properly, but if you successfully create a bridge between your robes and a certain state of mind, what will happen over time is that as soon as you put on your magical clothes, your state of mind will shift as a result. It will become automatic and instant. All the knowledge and all the results of your magic that have been accumulated over the years will be instantly downloaded because you created the connection, you created the bridge. When you find an object that reminds you of your childhood, and just by touching it, it brings you back a smell, an image, the memory of a person or a time. When you smell something and that smell takes you back to a point in time, these are accidental associations which are very powerful. The other day I found something in an old briefcase, and as soon as I touched it, I remembered a password that I hadn't used in at least 25 years. This is very powerful, but there are many examples of accidental associations. With your magical clothes, you want to create deliberate associations. You want to have control over the information that will be stored in these garments, so that when you touch it or when somebody else touches it, all that information is gonna be instantly downloaded, okay? So the more you wear your robes, the more powerful the associations will become over time. And one day I'll pass the cloak to one of my apprentices, and when they wear it, they will receive the associations that I have made. And if they do not mess with the cloak, they will add their own experience to the memory of the cloak. And when they have their own disciples later, they can pass on the robes to one of them, and this one disciple will receive not only the results from their teacher, but also from me. And can you imagine in 300 years' time, if all apprentices do their homework and never deviate, can you imagine the power of a cloak which has accumulated 300 years of magical memory? Before you tell me that clothes usually do not survive that long, they'll fall apart. Yeah, that is true. But it is also true that these associations are not stored in the fabric itself. We create a cloak in the astral form, and you can actually download the associations to a new cloak later, but let's not go into that right now in this video, otherwise it gets too long. What needs to be clear here is that we are creating an association between mind and matter. We want our robes to put us in a magical mode instantly. So in order to accomplish that, you only wear your robes when you are performing rituals and creating spells. Do not talk on the phone wearing your robes. Do not eat wearing your robes. Do not walk around doing other things with your robes. Do not go to the bathroom with your robes. Do not browse the internet with your robes. Why is that? Well, because you will create lots of random and unnecessary associations instead. So, as some of you already know, I spent many years studying Buddhism in a temple. And my teachers had different robes for different occasions. There was a robe that they could only wear at the altar, so they could not step outside of the altar with those specific robes. Then there was another kind of robe that they could wear inside the temple, in the classrooms, and there was a third one we never really got to see because that was for closed rituals. When classes were over, they would remove the teaching robes and we would go to the kitchen, and eat. This is when they could talk freely, use their phones, go to the bathroom. Once robes were back on, they had the responsibility to be in a certain mindset. And people, when I was finally allowed in the main altar and I had to put on the robes, these robes belonged not to me but to my teachers. And what happens when you put it on is that you enter a symbolic role and the ritual performs itself through you because of the associations made in the astral realm. So the robe is like a pen drive inserted in your inner computer. It transfers data. And I found it very unusual for me to make a mistake during a ritual if I was wearing the robe. So be mindful of what you are doing, what you're thinking and feeling and talking while wearing your ceremonial clothes. Okay, because this will be transferred into the memory of the garment. So, you can make use of some pre-existent associations to help you program your ceremonial clothing. I find that using the chakra colors help you stay in the right frequency. Colors have frequency, and being surrounded by a certain color helps you tune in with that frequency. So I chose purple because purple is the color of the crown chakra and this is the frequency I need in my practice. But in all honesty, this isn't the right color for every practitioner. Some of you would need red or orange. Some of you would need blue. Black and white work for everyone if you don't want to be that specific. Another thing that you can do is you can pick a day of the week to perform a specific ritual in accordance to the planetary correspondence. Many religions perform their rituals on Sunday. You have Sunday Mass, Sunday school, Sunday ritual, whatever. This is because the sun has been revered ever since the beginning of humanity. And the solar logos is our main archetype of spiritual authority and wisdom. So many religions choose to connect with this archetype. Therefore, Sunday rituals are a thing. Can you tell what is my chosen day for rituals? Let me know in the comments what is your guess, and that means you understood the message correctly. All right, so you can pick a day of the week to perform your rituals using the energy of the planet that rules that day of the week. So if you're a witch who makes moon water, use moon energy to cast spells and make potions, Monday is your day. And you can wear your ceremonial robes every Monday night under the moon, every full moon, etc. If you need Mars energy, you do it on Tuesdays, Mercury on Wednesdays, etc. Yeah, this is very interesting, but you will see that also in every single religion, that there are gestures associated with a state of mind. For instance, in Christianity, when you pray, what do? You join your palms together, and the real function of that is to create an instant association. You join your palms together, you enter prayer mode. Theoretically, you should leave your mundane tribulations aside when you join your palms together. It should instantly dismantle the blockage. But this is a gesture that has been banalized by random associations. So that is why it doesn't work that well anymore. You could be praying with your hands together and be thinking about groceries, for instance. In Buddhism, there are mudras, all the hand gestures, each one of them associated to a different state of mind. Again, theoretically, performing the mudras should create an instant bridge in your mind if you are doing it correctly. But most of us do not. Buddhists and Hindus also join the palms together, but for different reasons. In any case, these associations have been repeated throughout the years, so they become more and more powerful. But with that also comes banalization. Right, but let's not digress. What you need to do is to associate a gesture to your ceremonial robes, and every time you wear it, you repeat the gesture several times. You can do that with your magical wand, for instance. Create a magical word that you are going to use at the beginning of every ritual when you put your ceremonial clothes on. You will also repeat it when you end the ritual just before you take your ceremonial clothes off. You will repeat it during the ritual also, and every time you say the word, you will also perform the gesture. Mantras are magical words. Amen at the end of a prayer is a magical word. Hallelujah is a magical word. Abracadabra is a magical word. Now, I know this sounds a bit overwhelming, but it will only feel overwhelming at the beginning, but the more consistent you are with consecrating your robes at the initial stages, the best. You know, your robe is really gonna be consecrated over time as a result of consistency, repetition, and strong associations. You don't do this overnight, okay? But after a few repetitions in the right day of the week, you will see that this is going to become second nature for you, and it will become more and more natural until it feels completely normal for you to put on your robes, perform your gesture, say the words, and go on with your rituals. Do this from the beginning, and this will add more and more fuel to your rituals until you feel that when you put your ceremonial clothes on, the shift from mundane to sacred is immediate. This means that the associations were completed, and now you have a correspondent robe in astral form as well. So, what not to do? Do not share your gesture or your word in the initial stages. Repeat the process until completion, and I mean it, until completion. Don't go around sharing your gesture and words, because if you share this before the process is complete, you will inadvertently create random associations, and other people's intents will be connected to it, and you may experience intrusive and unwanted insertions in your rituals. Do you know when you are going to share that? When you are about to die and you pass your robe to a disciple, then you transfer the robes, the gesture, and the word. Or you can do something else. That is what I do. You can, while it's not a good idea to talk about this in this video, maybe I'll do that in the future. Who knows?